never conceded a general election ever in his life, Mr. Chad Peterson.
That is correct. I don't run for office. I just don't run for office.
That's right. And he doesn't, I don't think he runs much in general, but he but he will be running away once the show is done and all the fans are off to get us. Today, we have a special guest with us, as always, actually. Would you like to introduce our guest?
That 1 week. Dad? That 1 week, I would, that one guest, what I would call him, like special. But
last week we had a half guest because she didn't, she was there on spirit, but didn't. We never actually got to see her.
Exactly. Where's my StreamYard mug? That's a great question, Tim. It's a great question. As soon as
Tim has a StreamYard mug.
I do.
Tim has one. Do you have one? You don't have one yet?
Oh, now more than whenever.
Now more than Chad.
Now more than me. So, wow. Nancy, I can.
Chad
I
put
can
some heavy filters on him.
Help you out.
Everybody's loving the baritones of your voice here. Well, I think this is the perfect time to introduce our guest and add him
working out
screen, Chad. And right now.
Oh, introduce the guest. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about my voice still. This guy? Never heard of him. You?
I've met him a few times, but I haven't heard of him.
Gotcha. I heard he's wanted in like 15 states.
For what?
I have no idea.
Hello. How are you? It's good to see you today.
Wow.
Welcome, everybody. From this human, it's from Kermit the Frog.
It started with Tim and the laugh track. And then it went to Nancy just being Nancy. And then we got the bobblehead. And now we've got...
Oh, I have my bobblehead.
Oh, no.
I do have
Excuse me while I see if I can get my foot further into my mouth.
Jessica's bobbleheads.
I know.
They show up at almost every show, don't they?
If they would have had the conference this year.
Bobbleheads! Woo!
Wow.
Oh, is that good Bryan and evil Bryan from the other dimension?
Be on their show. Don't be on their show. Be on their show. Never be on their show. What will happen? You will not like it.
Oh, you'll like it. You just don't know what's
They will make you pay. It will be fun. This is what happens.
During your career. Well, we will talk about Bryan's career and what will become of it here today. So stay tuned. I think we can actually go to the first section, right, Chad? What do you think?
I want Kermit to say, let's go to the getting to know you.
It's getting to know you time. Hey, Miss Piggy, would you like to get to know Bryan Kramer? Okay. I want to.
You. Getting to know all about you.
Are we gonna? Is that a trademark violation? Are we gonna get sued?
You might.
Was that good?
It's your show, you know.
That good. Do you do anybody else?
Yeah. Who do you want?
Well, I don't know. Let's hear.
Well, let's see. Here we go.
Am I too old for that?
Yes.
Okay.
I have no idea what I just saw and heard here.
I'm guessing it was spot on. I'm just.
I was told this show was the show for baby voices.
Oh, so that's just like a baby in general?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay. Well, I think you nailed it.
You like it?
I did. I love it. Daniel, do you do impressions?
No. If you give me like 3 months, I can work on a basic Irish accent or something. But
we have to give you a 3-month lead time.
Well, I've been doing my Albanian accent this entire time. If you haven't noticed,
mixed with a little Boston. That's impressive.
The
only one I've ever been able to do is Donald Duck. So.
No, I lost.
I'm so excited. No.
Oh man, you do it well with the facial expressions and everything.
Well, yeah. If you don't do the facial expressions, it just sounds exactly the same.
Okay. Well, this show is about Bryan, I think, not about us. So let's talk. Let's get to know Bryan a bit. And Bryan, this is a segment which we call "Getting to Know You" because it's when we get to know you. Guess what? So we have a couple of questions for you here. We've kind of done a bit of research and we found out a bit about your history, and we wanted to know more. And Chad, I think you got
example.
You got the
I happen to know your favorite ice cream is mint chocolate chip. At least,
yeah. So
that's what our sources said.
That's true.
It's also mine.
True. Wow.
Well, we were curious.
How do you know that?
Favorite Girl Scout cookie. Oh, how do we know that? We cannot reveal our sources. They're in witness protection. But we do want to know what your favorite Girl Scout cookie is.
There's a mint one. That's my favorite. I can't remember the name of it, but it's Thin Mint. Yeah.
Do you feel like that name's misleading?
Very. Yeah. Extremely. Yeah.
I agree.
Especially on my wallet. They're not cheap.
No, they're not. Those Girl Scouts take you for everything you got. It's like being married.
Well, you if anybody had to say about the price of the Girl Scout cookies, it would be you, because you were actually involved in the Girl Scout organization at some point, right?
Boy Scout organization.
The Boy Scouts. Ah.
Yeah.
So what were you doing there? Tell us a bit about that.
I was, man, you guys really did your homework. I was grew up in the Boy Scouts, took part in the Boy Scouts and then became an Eagle Scout. I was the youngest Eagle Scout in my troop at the age of 13. Wow. And I then in my later, or I guess adult years, became the head of marketing for the Silicon Valley, on the board of the Boy Scouts for Silicon Valley Boy Scouts here in Silicon Valley, Monterey Boy Scouts. So I served on the board for, I think, 11 years at the executive board level, and I'm still on the board, but just not serving in the marketing board as a marketing executive, because my friend promised me that it would be 3 years, and I served for 11, and then he finally let me off. So it was just a little bit too much time. By the time I got off, I was like, okay, I'll remain on the board, but I can't keep doing this. So it was really fun, and it was really...
A scout is trustworthy,
loyal, brave, cheerful, thrifty, kind, obedient, trustworthy. Oh my God, you got me on this.
Trustworthy,
so, trustworthy, loyal, brave,
helpful,
obedient,
friendly,
thrifty, brave, helpful, kind, obedient, thrifty,
cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent.
Cheerful. Yeah, you got it. Were you a Boy Scout?
I was an Eagle Scout, and I was an Explorer
You
Post
were?
Advisor.
No way.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Yep. I was 15, though. I wasn't 13.
Still. Oh, it's like a less than 1% of Boy Scouts that make it to Eagle Scout. That's fantastic. Congratulations.
Well, if I didn't get it, I was told I would not get my license. So there was some motivation.
That's huge. Well, your parents knew how to do it right.
Yeah. Did you do Philmont?
I did, and it was fantastic. Did you do it?
I did. When we went, we did what was called Trek 24. We decided to do the hardest, dumbest trek where we had no time to rappel or climb or do things. We just hiked like 12 miles a day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I remember the last day, there was, as you know, we all had really crappy food every day because it was all, whatever you can pack in the backpack. And, it was not that delicious. And on the last day of our trek, we had this stop it was 10 cents for pitchers of root beer. It was like a root beer stop. And it doesn't sound like you had, or looks like you had the same thing. So we stopped for the pitchers of root beer, and it was 10 cents. So I had 9 or 10 pitchers of root beer. And ever since then, root beer has never been the same. It was like, it's like toothpaste to me now. Like, oh, but it was the greatest pitchers of root beer I've ever had.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm in a conversation with two 65-year-olds that are reminiscing about the good old days.
Oh yeah, because if I told Bryan pilot to co-pilot or pilot to rear gunner, he would know what I'm talking about. Bryan, that's the way the latrines are set up.
The latrines. Interesting.
Yeah, that was the thing that we were taught when we got there. Yep. They were out in the open, no walls, no doors, and they were either back to back or side by side. And it was pilot to rear gunner or pilot to co-pilot. And there was one time, me and another guy, we were on a pilot to rear gunner, and all of a sudden we see one of the other scouts take off running, and we're like, "What's going on?" And like, "We're chasing a bear cub." When there's a bear cub, there's gonna be a mama bear, and we're stuck in our pilot to rear gunner situation. It was, yeah.
Wow.
You're bringing up memories. Sorry, this is supposed to be about you.
There's so many. So you guys went camping quite a bit, yeah?
Oh yeah,
both of
absolutely.
You? Yeah. Camping is just one of those things, especially this year. It's one of those things where you can get out and, still be outside and do some really fun stuff. And I miss it. I actually married into a family that's not a family of campers. So if anybody here wants to ever go camping, please count me in, because I don't have many people I can go camping with these days. But it's such a delight to be out in the middle of the forest and just feel just feel nature and just see, what comes up. And my favorite part of camping, I think I saw people saying s'mores, but the fire at night, man, that's it right there. You get the fire going and you do some s'mores and you're talking around the fire pit. And then before you know it, it's 7, 8 o'clock and everybody's tired and we're all acting like we're 90-year-old people and we're all tired and need to go to bed, which is so random because we all can stay up typically till like 1 a.m. But when you're camping, you want to go to bed at 7 or 8 or whatever.
When we were kids, we still stayed up late, and I could hear the scout leader telling us to shut up and go to sleep.
Yeah. One time when I was I was a camp counselor, and I woke up and I was in my tent, and the kids got the fire to keep going, and then the fire escaped the pit, and then the pit escaped, and the fire went off outside the pit, and they called yelling for me, and I had to come out and put the fire out because it actually was this close to one of the tents, and I almost lost my job that night. So that was a real fun time.
You almost got fired,
right? Yeah, I was lit.
All three of us are almost exactly the same age. Chad and I are like just a few, less than a month apart on birthday, and I think I think you're also you're about to turn 47, right?
Yeah, I just turned 46.
Just turned 40. Okay, so you're a young guy. You're just a year young. You're a year younger than us. Yeah,
we're both 47.
Yeah. Oh, come on. So yeah, it's nice to see somebody our age still eager to go out and hike. At some point, you start liking the hotel room and just going out to the little fire pit out in the back and going back to take a shower after. Right?
Oh my God, showers are magical, right?
Right.
Amen.
One of the best inventions in history. Like if I ever had a time machine, I would never go back before hot water was invented. That's like my barrier. And
I'm pretty sure they always had hot water.
Romans had it.
Yeah. Once they had fire.
Yeah. I think if I had a time machine, I would definitely want to not be in 2020.
Yeah, we could skip it. I can travel forward in time, though. Watch me.
Can you, though? We really don't know if 2020 ends.
Okay, let's move on with the show, because I think it's about time to move to a different topic.
You wanted to ask him about this.
Yeah, we found this, and we were kind of impressed. So tell us a bit about how this happened, and why are both of you looking so darn like from a Tom Clancy movie, or like this looks like a paperback version of a Michael, what's his last name? Christian book?
I thought it looked like a fight card.
Could be.
Which, by the way, I would pay to see.
So yeah, that was a fun. That was fun. Well, so that's when we had Pure Matter, our agency, still do, but it was at the time we had 30 employees, and we were looking at how could we get Gary Vee to get on and do something really insane with me. And I sent him boxing gloves in the mail, and I challenged him to a bout. Not about, but a bout. And I said, can we go to town on a live video? Let's spar. Cause his new book was what was it? Right.
Jab, jab, right hook.
Jab, jab, right hook. I should know that by now. Right. So sent him these boxing gloves. They were huge, massive. And I sent it to his assistant, who I kind of knew, and I said, "Can you make sure he gets these?" And he did, and he said, "Okay, you're on. He'll do it." So we made that little card up and sent it out on social media, and Gary retweeted it. Which anytime Gary retweets something, it kind of tends to get some eyeballs on it these days, and back then, and it really did well. So we got on and had some fun, and it was a really good time. He's actually like, he's very focused. I don't know if you guys know this or have seen this or interacted with him, but when he's with someone, he's with someone. He's not deviating from that thing. Like, he was really focused in on our conversation. And even though it was a set up as a match or a bout or a competition or whatever, we sparred, but it was really more actually ending up agreeing. And he ended up actually saying, "You know what it is, Bryan? It's all about human to human." And I looked at him and I go, "Are you serious?" And then I had my book sitting next to me and I said, "You mean like this?" And he goes, "Yeah, like that." And he said, "What is that?" I said, "That's my book." And he goes, "No way." And then all of a sudden we started having a conversation as if there wasn't an audience there, and he started getting in on it. So I think it was just a happy accident that happened. And so, we ended up getting along, and I think the whole thing was a lot of fun.
That's why you're doing so well on this show, because we don't have an audience either.
Oh, good. Well, that's good to know. All these people talking are just bots?
They're paid performers.
Oh, good. Jessica Phillips is an excellent paid performer. I can tell you that. Mm-hmm. Nancy Lewis Hill, especially, and Tim Son. Oh my God.
Yeah, we've got a few groupies here, and we even have Leo. Leo is out in the UK, and he's watching. What time is it out there for you, Leo?
He actually really crosses into tomorrow as he watches the show. So he actually watches the show over a span of 2 days. And a lot of the people who actually come back and watch the show are people who are already on the show, and I think it's because they want to see what happens to the other people because of what happened to them. So I really think that's all it is.
Yeah.
So, hey, Bryan, before we go into this other segment, Daniel found out something about you, as far as languages, and he had a question for you. maybe.
Well, we needed something translated. Chad, can you show the?
Yeah.
Can you show the text? There we go. Can you help translate that for us?
Yeah, no problem. It says, "Would you please help us translate this?"
Nice.
I have no idea if he's right or wrong, but
that was
is that
good.
right?
Either no, but maybe he does. But I'm suspecting that he can actually read it, and because he knows what it says, he's pretending like he can't.
In my defense, I don't know.
I can't read it. I have no idea. But I suspect you guys looked at my LinkedIn profile.
Correct.
And saw that I was a minor in Japanese. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you actually listed. Yes, you were a major in Japanese, and you listed it as one of your languages that you speak. So yeah. That's where we were like, okay, he can speak Japanese. I know that most people who take a minor in a language, especially for a Far Eastern language, they're far from being able to speak it.
Yeah, I could speak it fluently, probably up until maybe about 10 to 15 years ago, and I probably need to change that. So thank you guys for pointing that out. I feel really confident about myself now. I can't read it. I can't read it anymore, but I can speak it, and more so, I can hear it. I can when other people speak it, I can catch what they're saying, as long as they don't talk fast. And the unfortunate thing about Japanese and Chinese and Korean is they all talk really fast. So I'm screwed on every level is what I'm trying to say. But if they did talk slow, I probably could catch most of what they're saying.
Do you think they speak fast?
No way. Yeah, they're like this is slow for them. This is very slow. This is their like, how are you?
That would make conversations incredibly long. It'd be like talking to Daniel.
Just like the show.
That too.
Yeah.
Speaking of, let's move on to this. Oh yeah. Do you know your wine?
So we found out that you're a bit of a wine enthusiast, connoisseur, hobbyist.
I like wine. My wife loves wine more than I do, but I like wine.
Yeah, we found that out about you, and we wanted to see how good are you at wine, and could you explain some stuff to us? So we came up with a few things we wanted to know about wine, and wanted to see what you can tell us. So how do you pronounce that?
See my lawn.
Have you ever drank it?
Sure.
Okay, so you're one of those people who call a Cabernet a cab.
I call it a Cabernet.
Cabernet.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm not sure how to pronounce the Semillon. I think it's French. Semillon. Who knows? Who knows how it's pronounced? Nobody knows. It is tasty. It's a type of wine. Oh, there you go. It's a type of wine. It's a Semillon.
So I'm not a drinker, so I don't know.
Do you not drink at all, or do you not drink wine?
I'll have a little whiskey once in a while, maybe a margarita, but I know nothing about wine.
I like a whiskey. You know what I love even more? If you guys pop these questions up about tequila, I'm all in.
Oh, well, you are going to be incredibly disappointed.
Yeah, because tequila does not have hints of asphalt. And this is what we wanted to ask you: is that supposed to be a good thing or a bad thing when wine has hints of asphalt in it?
It's, if I do know that if it's European, like European wine, and it smells like cow manure, that's a good thing. So I'm not going to answer your question directly. I'm just going to answer a different question.
That seems to be a theme here. Okay, let's to the next one.
I had like a phone a friend.
Okay. How about, do you use decant as a verb?
I use it more as a noun.
So that's a new
Focus
one.
on the things that he can do.
Yeah.
That he can't.
So
I can't really say.
I know of a decanter, but I don't know what a decant is. So how do you, what kind of noun is that?
It's I don't even know where to go with that, but
to the next word in
your
the
favorite
quiz.
ice cream and your past career as part of the Boy Scouts. No idea you'd clueless about wine.
So do you know what this is? Swirling tick.
yeah, I do.
When you camp.
Do you want to know?
Yeah, we would love to know because we don't.
A swirling tick is something you get in your crotch. You don't want it. You don't want it. It hurts.
Camping 101.
It's not
You know,
good.
it really helps. If you got it, you need the two pocket underwear. That's the two pocket technology underwear.
Yeah.
It helps for that.
Yeah, 2-pocket underwear, and when you're camping, you can reverse your underwear 4 times. I don't know if you knew that, but if you get a swirling tick, you don't want to go more than once. One time. You don't reuse your underwear with the swirling tick.
Agreed.
Hey.
Agreed. Those get burned.
Swirling tick.
I know this is supposed to be about wine, but I have a feeling your answer will not be. Flabby?
You guys know this one. I mean, this is
Very well.
this is, when you take wine and you rub it on your chest with other, with people at a party, and it makes your skin tighter. Yeah.
I have no idea. He could be telling the truth for all I know.
Just a flat wine. But
Chad
doesn't know what a flat wine is, so it doesn't matter.
It works. It works better for if you're a little flabby.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Absolutely, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So
this one's easy.
Yeah. This is I like to call this the Little Mermaid. It's a whole new world. And
technically Aladdin,
when you're,
but that's okay.
So it's technically
right.
There's a backstory.
I wonder if the term "new world" is still politically correct. I can't see why not, but I'm going to get in trouble even just by asking the question. Somebody's going to be yelling at me like, "Don't you know? Don't you know?" Next, let's move on to the next before I get in trouble here.
I'm glad this is your segment.
I knew most of these, by the way.
A matchstick is when it burns.
Like
What
the
burns?
wine when you drink it?
Yeah. But when you rub the wine on your skin and it burns. It burns.
It's got I think there's sulfur in matches, right? So I think it has to do with like that when the wine is got too much sulfur in it. And so it's called a matchstick.
Oh, that's
one.
another one.
Well, sadly, that's the last one.
It's the last one. So
who is Bryan? That's a good. I have been asking that my whole life.
Not this guy, not me. It's the guy over that way. That's Bryan.
So
right there. Nope. Nope. That way. No, come on. Never mind.
Blousy.
Blousy. That's Bryan.
Or
so
Blousy.
I wear a black blousey.
Right.
And when you pour wine on your blousey, it weighs heavier, and then you can drink it through a straw throughout the day. And it's heavier, but it then you drink all day. It's brilliant way to drink all day long.
Well, I get it.
Well,
I hope you've trademarked it.
I have. It's called Blousy to Blousy.
B2B.
B2B. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to do us a favor, and I'm just going to get us out of this whole segment. Oh, yeah. I don't know what Bryan's looking at.
I can't see the chat.
Oh,
What's
it's mostly just negative and derogatory comments directed at Daniel. No big deal. So this is Chilling with the Guru. This is where we ask you a little bit more about the things maybe people know you for before we get a little bit deeper into the things that maybe they don't. So Daniel, in all of his research, found a question actually that you've been asked before.
Well, you've asked yourself. This is something you wanted to know, and we wanted to know. Did you find the answer to it? So let's see. Let's see the question. Whenever you're ready, Chad.
I didn't know you wanted me to have it up on the screen for you.
I thought it was going to be up on the screen. So the question, I will read it here, was found on Quora. Do you think marketing is getting more complex or more complicated?
Great question. That's one of the best questions I've heard, I think, ever.
I'm pretty sure that you're the one who originally asked it.
Oh. Huh. So that makes sense.
The show's very meta.
So what I like about that question is, well, it's good. And so I do think that I do remember saying that now that I see it. I think I said it like a number of years ago. I don't know where you guys found that. It's way complicated right now, way complex and complicated. I'd say both. Yeah, absolutely both. The complex part and the complicated part make it complex. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. I'm following you.
On one hand, it's good that it's complex because you don't want it simple, but you do want it simple. Because if it's too simple, everybody would be doing it. On the other hand, if it's complicated, what would it be?
Wow. There's so much
I've been thinking about
content that we can repurpose later after this show.
Yeah, I've been thinking about this question a lot since I found it, and I really think you should put together a seminar about this topic, like probably an online summit because we need more of those, and you can bring in speakers all about this topic, and you could probably charge money for it. Like it's pretty.
How much do you think people would be willing to pay for that?
I think people pay for the name, so millions.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah. For one ticket each?
To see Bryan the Kramer, inventor of the Blousy?
B2B. B2B.
Absolutely. Speaking of B2B, let's switch over a little bit to H to H, because this is actually a question that I did have. I was curious. how do you see H to H shifting or changing in this whole COVID world?
Ooh, that's a real one. Yeah. Okay, so so now it's H to Zoom to H. we're in less of a human to human capacity, right? But right now we're in such a desired need for more human interaction more than ever. And I'll get serious for a second. This is probably the most the most disconnect we've ever felt in our lifetimes. And it's a little bit devastating, a little bit, it's to a place where I think people are kind of feeling a little bit of a pressure to connect more. And there's a loneliness, there's a solitude, there's a way that people are feeling where they don't know where to be or how to be. And it's creating a disconnect that we don't know what to do with. Mm-hmm. So here's what I do know. When I wrote Shareology, my second book, I did over 250 interviews with all walks of life, with people, psychologists, psychiatrists, CEOs, CMOs, sociologists, all kinds of people. And I took all the transcripts from all the interviews and I put them into a word cloud, every single one of them. And I asked them, what and why do humans share? Why do they share? And the one word that stood out the biggest on the word cloud over everything else was the word connect. People care the most about connection. The reason why these shows that you're doing here, even though, there's a lot of humor and fun, which is awesome. I love it. And humor is like top of the connection food chain in my place, in my heart. But it all comes down to connection. So the more connection that we can build with each other, the more we can connect our businesses and the more we can connect our lives to each other. So the other piece of that is going back to your question, how is this being affected by COVID? How is HH being affected? Well, it's also now to the point where we're over Zooming. We're over connecting in certain places. And so now we're having to figure out the line, the too much, like we're doing too much. Like, when is it too much that we're doing too much connection? I'm doing 4, 5, 6, 7 Zooms a day. And now I'm having to start pulling back. This to me right now is actually way easier than a Zoom. I'm not going to walk away depleted from this. I'm going to walk away filled and fulfilled. Doing a Zoom, I'll walk away a little more depleted, not because of the person I just met with, but because we're having to show up and we're having to be focused and visually we're having to be a little bit more present with the other person. So I'm suggesting that maybe we do more audio calls than video calls in those instances. So H to H comes to people in different ways right now, but it's needed now, I think, more than ever. We need it now. And also the last thing I'll say is that there is a massive difference between solitude and loneliness. And I hope everybody hears that because right now, just because you are in solitude doesn't mean that you are lonely. We are all in solitude together. We're not all lonely in being alone. Sure. as individuals. So we're all being in solitude together. So I just wanted to put that out there.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Nicely put. Yeah,
appreciate that.
So true.
All right, we're gonna take a quick little break. Run to the restroom, grab a drink. You probably need it. We're gonna be right back. That was good stuff.
You can go camping meanwhile.
Well, just what you said, about the
what time are we coming
over Zoom when everybody first started getting together after things, right? It's like, okay, wait a minute, I miss you guys from conferences and things and whatnot, but now I see you like way more than I would if COVID wasn't going on.
Okay. So this is the segment that everybody loves. It's called From Your Social Profiles. Or wait, is this it? What a segment are you? I think.
Yeah, we're headed there now.
Happy birthday, SpongeBob. Thanks for using your imagination.
And guess what? My leg wishes you a happy birthday as well.
I don't know what that means. My leg wishes you a happy birthday as well. What does that mean?
Some things we want you to explain, and some things we'd rather not.
And that one we would rather not.
Okay, then. Let's explain this one, then. Tell us what happened.
I gave a TED Talk.
About?
I'm sorry, I'm being difficult. So,
no, okay. We do it right back to you.
So that was the hardest thing I've ever done. Hardest thing I've done in my life. And I would say that because I put more time and effort, more hours into that than anything else in my life. I put over 300 hours that I clocked, that I went back and clocked into 17 minutes of stage time, which in retrospect is more time than I've ever put into anything I've ever done. And I've spoken many more times than that, and at longer periods of time on stage. Thinking back to that, why did I put that much time into that amount of time on stage? And it's because TED puts so much effort into making sure that you're prepared. And I hated it. I hated every second of them making you go through that. And I'm not ungrateful for that, because it gave me so much practice and so much for the rest of my speaking career, that then I could go on to stages and be a lot more relaxed and ready for what I needed to do. When I got picked for TED, it was because of our alignment with. Part of it was because of our alignment with IBM. IBM sponsored TED Corporate, and TED Corporate got to pick the speakers out of 50 people to come in and interview. I was one of 50 people then that turned in an application once picked out of 50 people. We went on to video and we interviewed with Juliet Blake, who was she was the producer of the 50-Foot Journey with Steven Spielberg and Oprah Winfrey. So that really kind of messed with my head, that I was sitting here with a high-powered genius. She was also the CEO of the Jim Henson Company, the Muppet Company. And so I was sitting here in front of her, and I gave her my idea. And the idea was that I was going to walk in, I was going to have everybody holding their phones, and I was going to share the power of sharing, so that people could see how from stage everyone could share one thing, and it would be resounding around the world. People could see how 200 people from one little stage could make a difference. And if we all shared something small, we could make a much bigger difference globally. Anyone could do this anywhere from, and we could see the power of influence, because I really think that, this is the beginning of influencer marketing. So what influencer marketing could create in the future. So they bought it. It went up to the top of TED because they didn't allow cell phones into the theater ever. And so they said yes to that. They said they could pick their phones up just during that one segment. I did go in I practiced all those hours. I went in the day before. I picked up my script. I knew the script backwards and forwards, and from the middle to the end to the end to the middle. I knew every line. I was so ready. I walked up to the stage in this little side room stage, and I had 12 people in front of me ready for the practice the day before, and I forgot every single line. I was sitting there blank and ready to cry. I have never felt that alone and that devastated in my whole life. And all 12 people were staring at me. My wife was standing there, and she looked at me, and she knew what was going on in my head. She knew I had just so much pressure in my head. And I just, she looked over at Juliet, and she said, you know what, he's so much under pressure right now. He speaks from his heart, and you've got him so scripted right now that he can't do this. And so Juliet did something I never thought I'd see anybody do. She stood up and she said in a British voice, which I can't do. She stood up and she said, Bryan, how about this? And she rips my script apart into 1,000 pieces and lets it fall to the floor. And she said, I don't want you to practice anymore. Tomorrow morning's the next time you're going to give this speech. And whatever you give is what you're going to give. That's how it's going to go down. How's that? And I said, okay. And the next morning was the time I gave the speech, and I I think I did quite well. And it was because of that she released that part of me that gave me that freedom to go up and do that thing, to be myself, to speak from my heart. And actually, I think I ended up giving most of the script anyway, because it was just so embedded in me. But it ended up being a really, like I said at the very beginning of starting this, one of the hardest things of my life, because of what they put me through, what I ended up doing, and how I came out on the other side. Much better person. But will I go through it again? Never that way. No way.
Wow.
I feel the same way about my skateboarding experience. When I was a teenager, I must have spent over 300 hours doing skateboard. It was great, but would I do it again? No.
All right.
Yes,
what we got next.
Exactly like that. Exactly like that.
What we got going on here?
Oh, that's a great time. I missed that. Mexico. Don't we miss traveling? And that would be, absolutely, I don't know, 65 pounds ago.
We've got some stuff about that coming up in a little bit.
That would be a half marathon.
Wow. Were you a spokesperson or did you run it?
Actually, I was the jolly. See how much bigger I am than all those people?
Yeah.
I put on a lot of weight for that. That was another hard one. Yeah. That was two friends of mine from college. We decided to run a half marathon. And that was probably one of the stupidest things I've ever done in my life, because I walked the whole thing because my friend told me that I should get new shoes the night before.
Oh.
Why? Why would I do that? Who does that? He looked at my shoes and he said, your shoes are horrible. And they're both runners. So they're like, you can't run in those shoes. And I asked one of the people when we're registering, should I get this? And they said, yes, your shoes really do look bad. So I really shouldn't have listened to them, but I did it. And they weren't broken in at all. They were wonderful shoes and I still have them today, but they weren't broken in, and they hurt so bad that I ended up walking. I ran maybe the first 5 minutes, maybe 2 minutes.
Oh, you had to be, your feet were killing you.
Oh, it was so, but you know what? It was in Las Vegas, and it was down the main strip, and they closed off the entire strip of Las Vegas. And it was really kind of something. And all I kept doing is looking over at the casinos going, I could just duck in. And
there's buffets in
you
there.
know, there's lots of things for me to do. And I didn't, and I did finish, and I was probably the last one, but that's okay.
Absolutely. That's okay.
I was fine. I finished. Man, you guys dug into like my past
and to your future.
Really?
Yeah. Those pictures will blow your mind.
Yeah.
That's on a cruise when I worked for SK Consulting. I was a marketing consultant. We had started with 3 of us. There was 3 of us, and we grew it to 75 people in 1995, 97.
Wow.
It was an awesome adventure where I got to learn how to grow a whole business, basically within a business. And I learned everything about business with my mentor, still my mentor today, in that business. And we celebrated that year because we crossed our first couple $1 million and took everybody on a cruise. And that was the cruise that we celebrated with everybody. I think that was in the .com that we took the cruise. So, it wasn't unlike anybody to be going on cruises that year.
Awesome. It's fun to look back and just see things that sometimes you just forget or don't think about, and that's what we're here. We're here for that. For example, this.
Okay, so here's the joke about this. So every single year, I'm the brother of someone. So one year I'm those teeth. See the teeth in there? I'm King Butt. King Butt, not King Tut. I'm King Butt. I've been King Basselhoff. I've been King Hump, brother of Trump. I've been let's see, you name it. I've been the brother of Hermit, brother of Kermit.
But the teeth are the common denominator.
The teeth are what makes me the brother. So all I do is I dress up as the character, put the teeth in, and now I'm the brother of the character. And that's my whole thing. So now everybody every year wants to know, like, what am I going to be the brother of? And so do I. I don't know. It just, you got to wait and see.
Where does this happen? At your birthday or
like Halloween?
Once a year?
Every year at Pure Matter. It was at our company. It was our big thing. We had a Halloween party every year at the company. So yeah.
What's going on here?
It looks like a casket, but it's actually my friend Gordon. We're in the UK. He just moved there. He and I were how we met is we were at this kind of a short / longer story. I'll tell the shorter one. We were at a karaoke party in the US, and we were very drunk. And then he looks over, he's Scottish, and he says, "Oi, where do you work?" And I said, I do marketing. And he says, "I work at Cisco. Can you come in tomorrow and do a more marketing campaign?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And so that's how we got the first big client at Cisco. And then fast forward, we became very good friends. And 2 months later, actually, we ended up playing soccer together as families and getting to know each other. And then we went and visited them over in the UK because they moved. They actually ended up moving back. But this is me in the top of their car because we didn't have room for anything else in their car because we had 4 kids and 4 adults in one car traveling to Paris. And so I offered to get in the top Thule and lay in there. And as a joke, he closed it and then they didn't open it and he drove around the block. And I thought they were never going to open it. And I thought it was screwed, but he eventually did open it. Thank God. And it was a joke. And I actually had a moment. I was like, oh crap.
That's hilarious. What's going on here?
Yeah, there's not a huge story there. We were doing every year at Pure Matter, we'd go out and donate our time at something, and we're doing a food. We were serving food at a local shelter. So that's me. I guess my job was not serving; it was more trash
looking good.
Pickup.
Your job
that's
was
right with my fishnet. You like my fishnet? You want some fishnet?
Man. I love fishnet. And you were working the
Especially
fishnet,
when they're
brother.
fishing them. Yeah.
Oh man, comedy, improv. That was my first time doing improv. I was in leadership certification, and we had somebody dared me basically and said, "I want you to take what you love and go do it, and just get on stage and try it." And I said, "Well, let me go take a class." And they're like, "Well, just go." Go get on stage. Just try it. Just stand up. And so I called our local. Did you? I'm sorry.
Like and so I called you posted or sent it to people or something.
I did post it on Facebook, unfortunately. And so I told Courtney, I'm like, "Hey, I'm going to go." I called them and they have room in like 2 weeks on a Wednesday night. And, I said, "Don't invite anybody because if I screw up, then no one knows." And so, Daniel, have you done improv?
Oh yeah, I actually took Fiona with me to do improv, so that's why Fiona is mentioning it. So we did the
No
improv
way.
together. That was a lot of fun. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's
I've been
awesome.
doing it for a few years now. Yeah,
really.
Doesn't mean I'm any good at it, but I've been doing it for several years, and it's a lot of fun. But I also was, if you think improv is tough, anybody out there, wait till you see musical improv. That stuff is insanely crazy. Yeah.
Oh, I can only imagine. I've never done anything like that, but that would be hard.
I would not dare. No.
I never did. I didn't do improv, but I did stand up.
You did stand up?
I did do stand up. I won a contest and then was able to open up for. Oh man, I'm gonna blank out. Guy used to do the Gong Show. Had the cigar. When I think of it, I'll post it.
The Canadian guy. About. Yeah. The Canadian guy, the white hair. Yeah.
So yeah, I got to open for him, and then
Wow. Steve. Come on, Steve.
No, not Steve.
Carell.
No. This guy's way older.
With a cigar.
When it comes to my head, I'll tell you.
From New York, big chubby guy. It was on.
He's tall, but he wasn't really chubby, but he was known for his cigar.
Cigar.
And got famous on the Gong Show.
Groucho Marx. There you go.
Not that old. Yeah, not that old. Hey, look, we got one more. We usually kind of pick a little fun, but this one inspired me, and I'm proud of what you've done, and I wanted to share it and let you talk about it.
Oh! Thank you.
This is when Bryan lost his feet.
I lost my feet and my knees. Yeah. That's why I'm looking through all these photos that you're bringing up and going, oh.
Well, this is a little bit of a newer Bryan,
yeah.
So we couldn't go back too far.
Yeah. Well, so the long or short story of it is all those years at Pure Matter and all those times speaking on the road were fun, but from the outside looking in, it was great. On the inside out, I was burning myself up. I was burning out. And I came home one time and my son literally sat me down. He was 11 at the time. And he said, "Dad, I don't think you're going to be here for my children, your grandchildren, because you're never around and you're getting bigger and you have diabetes and you're getting sick and all the time." And I was, and he called me out and he literally just said, like, "You are not going to be here." And he was like, just said it with such like, little child empathy, like little kid empathy. It was very sweet. And he got me, he just hit me right in the chest. And so that day I took control of my life. I hit rock bottom and at the same time started my climb back and took control of my life. And I also spoke with Courtney and said, I need to exit everything. I gotta stop. So I stopped traveling 175 days a year at that point. I talked to Courtney about exiting Pure Matter, our agency, which we did. It took us 6 months to do that. And we just basically reinvented our whole life into a whole new lifestyle so that we could have and make a U-turn in our lives. And I took a year off and lost 65 pounds, got rid of diabetes, and
wow.
And it was a long road. It was a hard road, but it was a worthy road because I'm living my best life right now. It's as you can see in that picture, I got my life back. So it was worth every single second.
That's so cool. So cool. By the way, Bob Zaney is the comedian that I opened up for. So.
Oh, Bob Zaney. Yeah.
Yeah, Bob Zaney. So you can Google him. But anyway, that's really cool, man. super inspiring. So, all right.
That's a perfect segment into our next segue into our next segment.
Sure.
That's at Jessica's conference.
Oh, is that where that was? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is a segment we call the 30-second marketing genius. And we always give people 30 seconds to come up with a marketing plan or pitch. Well, it's really more of a pitch. It's really more of a sales genius, but we're marketers. And we throw a topic at you, and you need to pitch it in 30 seconds. Are you ready?
Sure. Let's do it.
Your topic is, we hope you do. We're going to like this one. You got 30 seconds to pitch us your wife.
Mm-hmm.
Ready?
I'm going to love this.
Yep. Here we go. Go.
So here's what you're going to love about Courtney. She's a creative genius. If you want something to be done right and you want to show up in the world with everything about your business, about yourself, about everything that you have in a way that shows up both visually, in the written word, in the way that you think you know, but you don't know, she'll still come up with something that you didn't know. And it's going to come together and it's going to make you go, holy crap, I never thought of it that way. And she's going to make you feel good about it. And you're going to think, wow, this is really warm and fun and exciting, because she also shows up with a delight. The delight is what it's all made of. So definitely get to know Courtney.
Yeah, well done. Well done. We've never had this problem before that people have gone over time, and we need to figure out. We need to get a whip at people. But it's such a wonderful thing to hear you talk about Courtney that way, that we just let you keep going.
And I wasn't about to be the guy who interrupted him talking about Courtney, because Courtney knows where to find me. No, that was really good. Really good. Appreciate it.
I should have asked if I'm pitching her as others, to have her as her wife, their wife.
But I think now.
What's the pitch?
Like, when I'm gone.
I was trying to decide. Am I pitching like how good a wife she is, or?
I think it was great. Let's run into this last little bit here.
Is really chewing ice on a live show. I sure am. I'm totally.
I love it. This is the show where you can do that, and it is 100% appropriate. Bryan, this is our last little bit here we do with you. It's just our way of saying thanks for being here, putting up with the craziness and having fun. We call it the 60-second elevator pitch. We know it's a little long, but we want to make sure that we give you time to just tell people where to find you, what you do. Whatever you want. The next 60 seconds after we get you here, we're going to get you in the elevator. As soon as it closes, you'll hear the ding, and you'll see the timer start going to the 60th floor, and it's you.
So just talk about myself?
This is your pitch.
Okay. I am a performance coach, a business performance coach, and I work with individuals who want to grow their business and grow a line out the door of people that want to work with them. So if you want to work with a business coach who wants to create and grow your own business with a line out the door, that's what I do. And I love working with people. That's what I did for years. And now I love working with individuals. I used to work with companies, but now I get and thrive on people who get to work with people, which is my whole HCH spectrum. And how do you grow your business on community and individuals that can create the kind of growth you want? So you can find me at bryankramer.com. The link that they're showing right now is a personal brand quiz. So if you want to take the quiz at bryankramer.com, personal / personalbrandquiz.com, you can find out which type of personal brand you are.
Boom. Perfect.
Yeah. kudos to I've seen Bryan on stage, and he touches something. Bryan, you touch something in people, and clearly there's something there. I'm sure you're an incredible coach, absolutely incredible. I haven't had the honor myself, but one day we will get there.
Thank you.
And
we appreciate you coming and doing this with us, man.
Thank you for inviting me. This is definitely a really cool format and fun. And you're right, the hour goes right by.
Yeah, it flies by, and it's just because this isn't a place where you're pressured about really selling yourself or answering tough questions or whatever the case may be. So when Daniel and I got together, we said we wanted to do something that got rid of the regular old talking head, looked different, was different, and was just kind of an escape. So we appreciate you being here with us.
Well, the animation's off the charts. So
thank you.
I was impressed. I'm so impressed. This
Appreciate
is
that.
Cool. Is this a service that you guys are offering? Because this is really cool.
I do. You can holler at me later if you want. Yeah.
Wow.
This is Chad.
I'm the muscle.
Yeah. So shout out to Chad. If anybody wants a producer for their show, or kind of such services, talk to Chad. Chad is the brains behind this operation.
And this is all powered by what software here?
This is a combination of OBS and StreamYard.
Great.
Shout out to StreamYard.
Cool. Yeah.
A bunch of other software you use, because Chad goes the extra mile. He really goes far and above, and you can see the kind of stuff that Chad does here on the show are not your typical things. They're very, very custom, and he really has fun with it. It's really amazing to watch what he does. And if you wanted to do something like this, it's not. It looks simple on the screen, but it isn't at all. No, it is not. Okay. Even getting our the volume right for our mics.
Oh my goodness. You guys were quiet for a big chunk of the early part. I could not figure out. There was a new thing that we had rolled out, a new tool, and it lowered some of the incoming volume coming from you guys from a very odd place. But this show is also our playground and a chance for us to kind of learn some of those weird mistakes. If you guys ever want a tour of behind the scenes of the show, maybe we'll do that over the holidays or something.
Ooh, that'd be fun. Let me know when.
We'll do that. Yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna go into our credits, our sponsors. A lot of people enjoy this part as well, and that's because we want every part of this show to be entertaining or at least make you question life.
Sing it, Ted. Come on, here we go. Metro Highway.
Yeah!
This night's all stronger than moonshine. Are you gonna go?
You guys really went everywhere to find this stuff.
We do put some time into it.
Yeah.
So see our
we
new
found
company.
a lot of stuff that we didn't want to show here too.
Oh yeah.
G.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Official Santa on Twitter, just because Bryan knows him.
So it's
goodness.
Yeah.
Anyway, we hope you had a good time.
Oh, totally.
I think people really enjoy the people watching enjoy, but I think the people on the show enjoy the fact that we pull things out from the past. Just they're things they haven't talked or thought about in a while, and it's unexpected and it's fun.
Yeah.
So fun.
So.
Oh, fun. Yeah, and what's even more interesting is going to watch now somebody tattoo StreamYard. I wonder what part of his body he's going to tattoo StreamYard on. So.
Oh yeah, you've got somebody who's doing that.
It's
interesting that nobody really said anything about y'all's volume during the show. Somebody did message me at one point, and I was able to figure it out. There's a tool in Windows that will let you control the audio volumes on every app that you have running separately. And for some reason, I had Chrome, which is where you guys are logged in with OBS Ninja, turned way down. And honestly, I don't know why or how I managed to do that, but now I know, and I have it on my checklist of things to check. But people obviously still heard because they were commenting on things he said. So
sounded great to me.
Anyway, and as usual, in professional manner, I forget to end the live stream. So we're gonna end the show now before Bryan says something he could be held liable for.
Good. Let's do it. See you, everybody. Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, so we've officially ended streaming. We're all still here, but it did end. So, man, I appreciate it. That was very kind of you. I'd be happy to come up with anything or ideas or brainstorm fun new things to do on a live stream. And
cool.
You know, I can produce it from the house here, and
very cool. Very cool. There's a lot you can do with that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously, I use a lot of Adobe After Effects and Photoshop and different masks to get the weird shapes on the cameras and customize the names and but otherwise, I told Daniel, it's like I don't want us to just look square, rectangle, whatever.
Right.
When people are scrolling, if they see it, they know what show it is.
Yeah. That's so fun. So fun. You guys put a lot of effort into it too. I can see that.
It's been Chad does.
Yeah.
No, Daniel does a ton of the like I find pictures, but Daniel does tons of work on the background info and stuff.
I had pictures of the inside of your house. And we were wondering, should we show them or not? And I'm I was like,
he had.
I was I really wanted to show them somehow.
Everything I put on social, I know it's public, so it wouldn't have,
Oh, and you didn't put them. That's if you would have put them, we would have shown them.
What?
Yeah. Well, it's not that hard to find.
Let's see. Is it this?
Wait, what?
Oh yeah, that's right next to your house, right? That's
my old house. Yeah.
Oh, you've moved.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I thought. Okay, so in that case, I actually have photos of your house from Zillow. It shows on Redfin. It shows all the old photos from the address. So it has it with all of your furnishing and everything.
Oh,
so
okay.
I thought there was photos of some of the previous owner before you, but it turns out it's your home.
But still, the fact that he
we just sold our house in
December. Found the liquor store you used to go to is a little
Yeah, right. And right across from that is the place that we went for karaoke every weekend. Right there.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's what we do, and it's a good balance, and we, this is my escape. We'll get some other ideas that we're gonna try.
It's a good escape.
It's fun.
Good. Well, I'll put my thinking cap on.
Yeah, or just holler at me, and we can just chat and brainstorm whatever, and
sounds
come up
great.
with something that's 100%, Bryan.
Cool, guys. Appreciate you.
All right, guys. Well, we will holler at you later.
All right. Take care. Thank you again.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Good night. It was really nice being with you. I have to go watch a guy tattooing StreamYard on his foot.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
You have fun.
All right. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.